Bethalto, today on Old School 95.5.
Good morning, and welcome to Bethalto Today, our bi-weekly news magazine here at Old School 955. I'm your host, Steve Buys. What is a father? How important is he in raising a family? His job is to lead and direct. What are the problems of being a young father raising a child in this economy? With me this morning on Bethalto Today is Halbert Sullivan, the president and CEO of Father Support Center. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning, Steve, and thank you for having me on board.
I had no idea that this has been your brain trust for how many years now?
This has been my brain trust for a little over 15 years. We created the agency about 15 years and some odd months ago.
What is the history of Father Support Center?
The history is a lot of challenges involved in that history. The mission of the agency is to foster healthy relationships by strengthening families and communities. Overarching goal of the organization is to impact outcomes for children. And so part of the history has been just to keep it going. We started out in 1997. We were housed at the Guardian Angels Settlement Association, which was located on the south side at 14th and LaSalle. And we were there from 1997 up until about 2003, where we enjoyed the opportunity to recruit from the projects on the south side as well as from the surrounding community. And eventually that area was redeveloped, and so that building was purchased during that redevelopment, and we moved into Prince Hall Family Support Center, which is located at 4411 North Newstead. And we've been in there since about 2003. About 4 years ago, we began to branch out. We now have three total locations.
Oh, good. Very good.
Plus, we do day and evening classes at Prince Hall. We have a location out west in the Met Center, which is on Plymouth. And we also have a location on Market Street, which is housed at the Employment Connections building on Market Street downtown, right across from Wells Fargo. And so we continuously to provide services at other areas where they have fathers and or men. Other areas meaning drug rehab centers. We provide some fatherhood services to drug rehab centers. We provide services to Youth Bill, and we provide some services down at Salvation Army. We try to, outside of our normal day-to-day, reach out to other service providers who are working with fathers/men so we can bring this information to them on what their role is in impacting their child's life. That's our main goal, is to change the direction that our children are going in by having a responsible father involved in his life. The children today need that dad, man. I mean, we have some very, very, very astounding stats, which I'm quite sure you and our listeners are well aware of, that 63% of our youth that commit suicide, they come from fatherless homes. 90% of all homeless children come from fatherless homes. 80% of rapists motivated with displaced anger. 71% of all high school dropouts, 75% of adolescent patients in chemical abuse centers.
And because of this, they haven't had a father in their life.
But check this one now. 82% is actually 82% of all teenage girls who get pregnant come from fatherless homes. That stat in itself keeps that cycle going more than anything else. But the negatives are astounding, directly tied to not having a responsible father in the home. And we feel that if we can bring a responsible father back into the child's life, we'll be able to impact these stats. 71% of all high school dropouts, fatherless homes. Education
is amazing.
That's all related to. And it's not to discredit the mom. We've had some great mothers, and we continue to have great mothers. We have single moms who are doing absolutely a wonderful job. So we're not by no means at no time trying to discredit the great work that our mothers do. However, when we look at these type of stats, 7% of all juveniles in state prisons come from fatherless homes. The child needs the benefit of both parents, two responsible parents, biological parents. Now, when I say biological parents, we still don't cut short that stepfather. We still don't cut short that responsible male who lives down the street. If he take on the role of father in his community, we will still get some better outcomes for our kids than what we currently have.
Mm-hmm. Now, Halbert, a young man has an idea of being a father, but is it better hand-on experience, or is coaching needed these days?
Well, coaching is a great word. It is better first that he sees a father being a father. So that's why coaching, because that's similar to seeing a father. A young man, young people, they emulate what they see. So let's see responsible fathers in our homes, responsible fathers in our community, and responsible fathers in our media, the messages that the media sends to. Children emulate what they see, as well as the coaching. But that will come from a responsible father. He will be talking to his young man, talking to his young daughter about what adulthood is about and about what parenting and children is all about.
What problems are you seeing, Halbert, in the inner city?
My goodness, the problems that we see this related to the gangs, the problems that we see this related to the dropout, the drugs, the problems that we see with the how the young men dress, their attire, and the negative that comes along with that dress, that sagging pants situation causes them some unintended negative situations.
That's
such
so
as
true.
Police stopping you just because your pants are sagging, you know. So there are a lot of, and those problems are associated with not having responsible parents in the home.
What is your success rate?
Oh, Lord, man. Over the past 15 years, we have enjoyed tremendous success. You'd be surprised. When I started this thing in 1997, folks told me in the community that it was going to be a good idea and it was much needed, but that the guys wasn't going to show up. Well, over the past 15 years, we've had over 10,000 of them to show up, okay? And the research says that each one of those guys will have 2.5 children, which means we've impacted the lives of over 20,000 kids as a result of the work that we do. Now, being a responsible parent and learning about what that is a great thing. But at the end of the day, you need to have a job too. We have been fortunate over the past 15 years to maintain a placement rate where we place 65% of those who complete our program into jobs. And we track that guy. We stay with that guy for up to a year. And let's just go with a round number. Typically, we'll do about 300 guys a year. Okay, 75% of those men will complete our program. So not only will they come, but they will stay and complete the program.
So you do have a job placement service as
Yes,
well.
we do have job placement. That's the second biggest goal, is to get them into a job, because at the end of the day, the financial resources are needed. So we're talking about placing last year 210 men that didn't have a job on a job. And that also equates to 200, 180, 90 who were not paying child support and who is now currently paying child support. And that number is about like 280, because not all of our guys that come in have child support issues.
Right.
Significant amount of our guys just want to learn parenting, just want to get placed, okay? That's 180 who are now paying child support who was not paying child support.
This child support issue is a monster, Halbert. Everybody is looking for money.
The money, okay? We have a whole lot of monstrous stories that come out of child support, and I agree. The system might need some tweaking, but our children still need that money, whereas in situations where they normally wouldn't get any resources from the father, that means that the mother is bearing the total weight of raising a child. That's not right.
Now,
That's not right.
You're right. You're right about that. But a lot of times the man does get kind of swept under the rug, let's say. Let's say, for instance, a young man has custody of 2 of his children. Now, with child support and the child support laws, should he still be paying child support because now he is the sole provider of these children?
Define custody. That's what we first must do, is define custody. When you're talking about custodial issues, you're talking about legal issues.
Correct.
And a legal definition, if he has legal paper custody, then he will not pay child support. Now, the thing is, a lot of our guys don't understand the difference between legal custody and physical custody. Mm-hmm. Custody is something that is given to people, men, in a court of law. And or it can occur through the social service system, okay, that you gain legal custody of your child. And if you haven't went through that process, then you don't have legal custody. Oftentimes, our laws that deal with custodial issues that child support falls upon, they are implemented through divorce proceedings and things of that nature. And or a young lady, without receiving social services, she can just go downtown to the court and put a child support order on you. But if we go back to the so-called normal way, a marriage occurred, a divorce occurred, and the custodial rights are decided during that process. Most of our populations don't go through that process. It's cohabitation. It's I'm through with you, and we split up and each go their separate ways. And in some situations, the female will let the guy have the children.
Right.
But does that mean he's got legal custody? When that happens in some situations, she will in turn go down. We're talking about an impoverished population now. Go down and get social service benefits, and she'll put her children down, which will drive a child support order to him. Mm-hmm. And she will start to get child support. As soon as he learns about this situation, he needs to go down to social services or get him an attorney and go to court and get legal custody and then begin to contest this situation. If he does not do that legally, as soon as she sees that he's contesting it, then she'll come back and get her children back so she can maintain the so-called child support order. But if that father has legal custody of those children, he will not be required to pay child support. As a matter of fact, he can require her to pay child support if he has legal custody.
If the woman is mentally unable to keep a job, and she has given custody to the father of the children, can you force her to pay child support?
The rules of child support is the same for the mother as it is for the father. Depends on how you define mentally unable. If she is mentally unable, then there will be some resources, SSI, that will be coming to her because she's mentally disability, incapable of holding a job. Then she has those two options to have resources come to her. And if she gets some dollars, the child support system will want some of those dollars to help that father to take care of that child.
Now, Halbert, this is a rare case.
Those are very rare situations.
But have you had that happen since you've had the Father Support Center?
Oh, yes, we have. We have it happen at least once or twice a year.
Really? Do you help the guys with housing?
Housing, very tough subject. No, we do not have any housing resources for our fathers, unless the father has legal custody of the child.
So if the father does have legal custody of the child, you can help them. There are
housing resources in the city of St. Louis, which we in turn work with those resources, and we make the referrals and keep following referral until it happens with those resources. The city of St. Louis has several housing programs for parents with children. That's not that's easily taken care of. The situations occur when if there is a father who comes and he doesn't have the legal custody, then he has a problem with housing in the city of St. Louis.
Now, if he does have legal custody, is there a way you can help him with housing or help him lower his child support? Because maybe he's had back child support to pay. Can you help him in any way?
We can help him with the housing,
but not the child support, not the back child support. And if it is back child support, where does that money go?
It depends on how you define back child support, okay? If it's back child support and it's owed on children, not these ones that have custody, but on other children that he don't have custody of, he's got to be financially responsible for that child support order. Now, child support itself will lower the payment. It won't remove the payment, will lower payment based on the additional children that you may have in your child support order. The problem that we find is in that term, when I use it, responsible fatherhood. There is, you have to do several things. You have to follow through. You have to start the paperwork. And as you know, oftentimes in our impoverished communities,
oh, yes,
they don't follow through the necessary methods. You have to go through the system, but the system itself will make corrections if it makes an error. But yes, we do work with them. We have a very close working relationship with child support enforcement. We actually have child support case managers that are assigned to work with us, as well as I have a direct line got on speed dial to the director of child support enforcement in Jeff City. They're very interested in our work. They make referrals to us because I don't see child support as the enemy.
I don't either.
There are some things that need tweaking. There's some stuff that can be fixed. That's with everything, okay? But we understand the value of the system in that there are guys, there are people, male and female, who wouldn't pay a dime were it not for the system being in place. So they work real close with us because they do realize that at the end of the day, they will get some child support money from our fathers.
Okay.
And we do work with the female, too, if she is a non-custodial.
Okay, very good. Now, everything is geared toward the woman, Halbert. Now, when a man walks in, why are some of the resources limited to him, but when a woman comes in, everything is wide open for her?
Depends on how you define this part of the conversation. What do you mean when you say everything? In our society, it's about the children. It is not about the adults. So most of the times it is the female who comes to an entity and she has the children. So it's about providing so that the children are taken care of. And on the other circumstances, the guys come, they don't have the children. I just finished working with a case where a man, he'd been working all his life and he had legal custody of his child. And when it came during the process for him to get child support from the mother, he said he didn't want it because he was financially able to take care of his child. Well, he came across some bad luck. Boy, I've been in bad luck now for about 2 or 3 years. And the first couple years, he didn't know what to do. And I knew the guy, and I started talking to him, and I say, have you did this and have you did that? He said, no, I didn't know I could. Well, then I brought him on in, showed him the way. Now he is in a transitional housing program, which will help him to get a regular, stable apartment. He's also receiving the same social services that a mom would be receiving as far as welfare, food stamps, medical insurance, the whole nine. The system works. Mm-hmm. But we have to be responsible. We have to have legal custody, not just physical, where the mom, she drug addict or whatever, she just left the babies there, period, and you don't have the legal paper, okay? You're doing all the things that you should be doing, and I applaud that father for doing all the things that he should be doing, but he should do one extra step, and that's to get the legal custody so that the mom can't come back whenever she wants to.
Halbert, hold that thought. This is Bethalto Today on Old School 955.
We'll be back with more Bethalto Today on Old School 95.5.